Hello everyone, this is Jackie Williams, and in this video I would like to introduce you to the new Basic Beige. And I thought it would be fun to first compare this with some of our existing colors. So this is Basic Beige next to Basic White, and then Basic Beige with Very Vanilla. So you can see that while it is warmer than white quite a lot, it is a lot more green and deeper than our Very Vanilla. And then this is compared to Crumb Cake and Pecan Pie. So very different browns. And then we have, of course, the very dark version, the early espresso. And it's kind of an in-between color. It's kind of a browny green color. So let's also compare that with the gray, so you can just see how different that is. So this is Smoky Slate and Basic Gray, and then Gray Granite and Pebbled Path. So it does fit in quite nicely with our colors, and we do have nothing quite like it. Now I want to do a project showcasing the Basic Beige, so I'm going to use the Simply Zinnia stamp set, and I'm going to pair that with the Textured Timber stamp set. I'm going to use this one for a nice background. So I have a piece of Basic Beige here that's just slightly smaller than my card base. And I'm going to take that long timber stamp and just stamp that to create a background. Now this stamp is just slightly shorter than my piece here, but that's okay. I find that the joins aren't all that obvious, and we're only going to see a portion of this piece anyway. We're not going to see the middle, so I'm not going to bother stamping through the middle. Just stamp up those end pieces there. Now I also want to take a blending brush and just blend around the edges a little bit. Now I always get that first little bit off, especially when the ink pads are brand new, so that you just get a bit of a haze of color rather than streaks, unless of course that's what you're after. Now I can see, and hopefully you can see on the video, that this color actually has quite a lot of green in it. So if I were to watercolor with this, I expect that the color would separate into some browns and greens. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that onto a card base. And I'm just going to use Basic White. Okay, I'll set that aside. And now we want to prepare our zinnias. So I'm going to stamp those in Memento Black. Now with these larger stamps, ones that are larger than the ink pad, I do find it helpful to ink them up like this so that you can see that it's all entirely inked. And then just stamp that down. Next we'll use our Stampin' Blends to color. So I'm going to color one leaf with the Old Olive. And I like to start with the light color and just very quickly put on a layer of the light. And then I like to take the dark and just go back and add a little bit of shadow, often where the lines already are, so you can just follow those to deepen the image. And then maybe a little bit of an outline like this. And I'm just lightly touching the paper and moving quickly, and then you can go back with the light if you want to just blend those a little bit more, but just put on one layer. And don't feel like you have to cover the whole image again either. It's nice to have light, medium, and dark areas. And if you would like a full tutorial on how to use Stampin' Blends, I do have an online class that's very thorough about how to use your Stampin' Blends. Now, interesting to note, with the new Basic Beige, it comes in cardstock, ink pad, and ink refill. But at least at this point, oh, and ribbon. But at this point, we do not have Stampin' Blends or Stampin' Write markers in the Basic Beige. So I am using Crumb Cake here. Crumb Cake is quite a different color to Basic Beige, but they are both green-based browns. So if you use Crumb Cake quite diluted, or in this case I've used it as a blend. It's not the same color, but I think it tones in okay, so you could use the crumb cake in place of the Basic Beige until we do get those resources, if they are coming. Okay, so I have one I've already colored and cut out for you. This one I actually did entirely in green, but let's just go with it anyway. Basic Beige, black, and real red just happens to be a color combo that I really like. So I'm going to just use some of the words from the Simply Zinnias, and we'll stamp that in the corner first. And then I'm going to add, actually before I do that, I'm going to take the blending brush. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on the brush, grab my scrap paper again, and get a good amount of that off. And then go ahead and just add a bit of a haze of color. Now most of that's going to get covered. It's just nice, I think, to have a little bit of a background, unless you're going for a really clean look. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put those on about like this. Now I want to use, actually I'll go ahead and put that onto a basic black mat. Now before I put that on, I want to add some ribbon, and I wanted to show you how some of these compare. So this is the linen thread, and actually I think that tones in quite well with the Basic Beige. The linen thread's kind of a crumb cake color, so that makes sense. And then we have the Very Vanilla and Pecan Pie, which I think actually does look nice. I do like that, but it is a different color. And then we have the actual Basic Beige ribbon, and you can see that that matches pretty perfectly. Now I have a sample already with the Basic Beige ribbon that I'll show you shortly, so I'm going to do this one with the linen thread. So I put a little bit of tape on the back on both sides, and then I'm just going to turn it around and go back and then do that one more time. This way we don't have any linen thread across the back of our card, which is just unnecessary, and it makes your money go a little bit further. Okay, then we'll go ahead and put that on. I think that's so cute. I love the red against the Basic Beige. And then let's go ahead and make a bow, and I'm just deciding if I want to have a single bow or a bigger bow. I think I'll just do a double looped one. So I'm just making two loops of the linen thread, and then I'm just folding them in half with my fingers like this. So I'm basically holding it so it looks like a figure eight, and then I'm just tying it in the middle. If you have a different way that you like to tie your bows, or if you just want to do a standard single bow, you know, by all means, yeah, I quite like that. You could even just do one strip of the linen thread and one single bow for just a really, like a little clean, more simple effect too. So whatever you like. And then just tie that on, and it just happened to sit perfectly. That was lucky. And trim those off how you like. Now we don't actually have any real red embellishments at this time, or at least that I have access to. We also don't have any black embellishments. So I'm just gonna go for a neutral color, the gold. Let's go for a couple of dragonflies. These dragonfly and bird embellishments are actually really nice. It's nice to have some things that aren't round, just for something different. I just like to add a little bit of speckling at the moment. So I'm just using my Stampin' Up marker, and I don't mind using the black one so much because you can buy these individually, and they aren't that expensive. So I just have one that I keep as a pristine marker and one that I use for flicking. Okay, let me share with you the one that I made earlier. So this one, I used the Basic Beige ribbon, but I actually cut it in half vertically. I just felt that it was a little too thick and heavy for this particular project. And I also colored it with Petunia Pop, this one with Real Red. But otherwise, they are pretty much the same. What do you think? Which ribbon do you like better? Which color do you like better? I quite like the red, I think, with this color, but all of them look good. I find that Basic Beige looks quite good with the bright colors. Now I have a few other samples to share with you using Basic Beige. So this is one that I shared in my in color video, and I've used all 5 of the in colors here. And the Basic Beige just made a nice backdrop, a little bit warmer than just white. So it does make a nice card base. And then here's one using the new Adventurous Sky bundle. And I've used the Basic Beige here as the background and the card base. And I just like it. It makes a nice warm background, particularly for a masculine card. And then here's another one with the Summer Splash. This one using the Layering Beauty stamp set. And I have combined that with various greens and blues, and also used the Basic Beige ink out of the ink pad to create a wash in the background. So you can see that it does separate into a few colors, but it does make a really nice soft background. And then this one, I've used the By Your Side stamp set, and this is Basic Beige here, and this is a really nice one to showcase how it fits in with all the other neutrals. I think that they actually look quite nice all together like that with the grays and the browns. So there are our projects for this video. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you feel confident about purchasing and using the new Basic Beige and how it works in with the colors that we already have. If you know someone who would also enjoy this video, please share with them. I always appreciate that. I'd also love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. This is Jackie Williams. Bye-bye.